All right, 3 o'clock. Beautiful Friday afternoon. I want to turn our attention to the Tigers. Now, wait a minute. Before you reach for that button on your steering wheel, hear me out. Nothing sad. Nothing negative. I want to explain something, and then I'm going to offer what we are calling the pathway to positivity. Now, this is simple. If they win tonight, I already know what's going to happen. You're going to have a pre-canned column in one of these nonsense newspapers talking about how it's the first time they've been above 500, June 1st in a decade. As if that's some kind of accomplishment. No, it is not.
No,
if you come in, only half your radio shows are good, you're not a good radio host. You're a woefully average one, and you're probably out of a job. If you're only a good dad half the time, yep, you don't get the coffee cup that says world's number one dad. You probably end up with a divorce. If you're an employee whose shifts are only good half the time, your employer's looking to replace you 100% of the time. So why do we hand out these participation ribbons for millionaires who play a kid's game? A 500 record doesn't make it move, so to speak. Okay? It doesn't make the denim a little tight. So why don't we raise the bar? If you want the pathway to positivity from this radio show, I'm going to offer you what I think is a fair, equitable solution. I think it's something that is doable if the team is any good.
Okay.
And it would set us up on Monday, July 15th. Monday, July 15th. 2 weeks before the trade deadline. It would set us up to have a conversation about being buyers at the deadline. There are 41 games between now and Monday, July 15th. Don't worry about who you're playing. There's going to be good teams, bad teams, average-ass teams, bad teams that are good, good teams that are bad. It is immaterial. Over the next 41 games, I want to establish what I need that record to be. And we have to understand, much like when you're doing polling results, plus or minus 1%, there has to be a small variance in here.
Plus or minus wins.
Right.
Okay.
But my viewpoint is the following. I wanted them to be an 85-win team this year. I currently do not believe they're going to get there because as good as Skubal and Olsen and Flaherty again last night, this Jack Flaherty hasn't existed in 5 years. What Scott Harris and Chris Fetter and this Tiger organization have done with the pitching, it is remarkable. If I'm going to hammer Scott Harris for his plan offensively or lack thereof, I always will give credit when he does something well, which is the pitching. He found Lorenzen last year. He's put a bullpen together. He found Flaherty when really no one wanted him. Who are we kidding? They've got a system here. You come to Detroit as a pitcher, you get better. Or you're just garbage. So here's my point. 41 games. Can I see 24-17? And on July 15th, this baseball team, which currently sits at 28-28, I need you sitting 7 games above 500. If you do that, you'll be in a striking range and or possession of a wild card. And we will be able to have legitimate radio conversation about buying at the deadline. Not trading Jack Flaherty, but an extension conversation. Buying a bat. Getting some support here. 24-17 over the next 41 games. And we can change the conversation. Because here's what I'm not willing to do, Rico and David and Kenny and you, the listener at large. I'm not going to play kids' games. Oh, they won 3 in a row. I don't care. Because invariably they lose 6 of their next 8. It's the big picture. If you want people like me to let go of what I deem to be a horrifically flawed offseason plan the last 2 years, and a team that, even though they're 500, is a maddeningly frustrating 500. Put together, as I said on yesterday's show, 5 to 6 weeks of really nice baseball that in the big picture places you in a position to be viewed as relevant. That's the pathway to positivity. Now, if you wanted specifics into that, I can offer a couple. It'll include Justin Henry Malloy being called up. It'll include Jace Young being called up.
Before we get to that, so you're saying with the plus or minus, you would be willing to settle for a record of 50-37 at July 15th.
Whoa. 50-37. Your math's off. Do the math again.
Wait.
Yeah, it's okay. We're radio people. Math is not our strong suit. Your math is off. But that's where I want to be.
No, you said you wanted them to go 24-17 over the next
41 games.
Right. So I added
7 games over 500.
No, I said you'd be willing to go as low as, because I added it to the 28-28.
Right, so it should only be 7 games over 500. What am I missing here, guys?
No, because the plus or minus.
Oh, yeah, plus or minus
so
a game.
I'm saying, right, they may end up being 50-37 if they're only 5 games.
What I'm confused. Can someone help me, please? Help me, because mathematically that doesn't add up.
Yeah, that doesn't add up. Just 7 games over 500 is what he wants.
That's it.
Okay.
If they're 6 over, 7 over, whatever, be legitimately over 500. Where one bad weekend
you got to carry the one.
You're good. You're all good. I hate math. That's why I got into this.
Gotcha.
So my point I'm making is that a fair deal? Or am I somehow a bad guy? Remember, my preseason, I think I was 85-77. I expected this to be a good year, primarily because of the pitching. And I admit to you, yes, I thought Torkelson would be better than this. Now I'm at a point where I'm trying to replace Torkelson. I get that. But if you want to change the conversation, isn't that what this team needs to do? Because one thing I'm just not comfortable with, and I heard this, I was surprised by it. I heard this on the morning show, and then Rieger did the topic last night. And Gov in the Tecumseh area was talking about, I hear a lot of angst and vitriol towards Scott Harris, and I'm going, Gov, the hell are you talking about, Tom? Critiquing the president of Tiger Baseball for what he said the other day, or for the fact that he tried to offer you Mark Canha as a signature acquisition. That's not vitriol. That's called do your effing job. That's called we want to win. We're in a town, and Gov knows this. Gov's a war dog in radio. Gov's been around for 25 years.
Well, didn't he say, we gave Avila a lot more room?
Hell I did.
And then we gave him like 4 years before we started criticizing him.
He can put that evil on other people. I'm the guy who sat here the day they signed Upton and Zimmerman, and the guy damn near hung up on me because I had data telling you Zimmerman was a bad signing. No. Having a conversation about team executives, look, this is what I can't stand. All right, this is a me thing. It's probably an East Coast attitude. Why do we defend team executives? Why? They're millionaires who play with billionaires' money and buy and sell baseball cards. That's what they do. They're not curing cancer. They're not educating your kids. They don't keep you safe at night when someone breaks into your house. What they do is wholly unimportant. They put their pants on. They go number 2. They have problems. They have good days and bad days. This deification of team executives as if what they do is somehow that important, it is not. So if you win, we're nice, and if you lose, we're not. Good, find me a cleanup hitter. The point is, I don't understand a need to protect these people. Now, look, you want to talk about, Scott Harris gets treated different than Steve Yzerman? You know what? Being a first ballot Hall of Famer and one of the rare numbers that's raised to the rafters and being one of the most identifiable human beings ever to be associated with the Detroit Red Wings, maybe only to be outdone by Gordie Howe, you probably are going to get treated a little different. Mm-hmm. Let's check Scott's resume. I don't owe him anything. And you, the paying customer, don't owe him anything. They owe you. They, as an entertainment product, owe you. When you go to the movies, do you know what Warner Brothers owes you? Entertainment. They owe you. All of us want the same thing. What I'm tired of is the divide, not only within the walls of this radio station, but in this community. People who want more and simply don't drink the sand and think it's water are not bad people. I do not understand why we want to let this team off the hook when they have given you nothing. Whoa, they're 500. Whoop-de-effing do. Your kid just came home with a C in math. That's 500. You celebrating little Bobby? And while I don't have kids, I can tell you my niece and nephew wouldn't be getting a nice present from Uncle Mikey.
Well,
Not for a C.
No, you only celebrate little Bobby in a C if you know that
Little Bobby's an idiot?
Yeah, pretty much.
Or wait, you can't say that. David, what do you do if one of your kids is stupid? Is that a real problem as a parent?
No, you celebrate.
I don't know
the C.
because they're not in my house. So
No,
I
but
don't
you
know.
celebrate the C because you know, A's are just never going to be in the cards for you.
And I'm not willing to do that because I view the Detroit Tigers as a proud organization, one of the iconic logos in all of sports, and a team that if they get it right, 3 million people will go through those turnstiles. I'm not letting them off the hook. You want to change the conversation? Here's the cost of admission. Monday, July 15th, we take the air. And we talk about a team that is 6-7 games over 500. Then and only then can I move on and let go. And go, okay, what do we got to do to make the wild card? What can Scott Harris do now? Now, mind you, I already believe they've given away 6 games. I've never shied from that.
At least.
Oh, and I'm being fair. I believe you should be 6 games over 500 right now had Scott Harris and Chris Ilitch done anything this offseason offensively. I stand by it. I really believe I can prove that.
Oh, no. You go just that whole Yankees-Cleveland, the road series that they had.
Right.
They gave away games. The A's.
So,
you lost.
is that the pathway to positivity? Am I out in left field? Am I right on target? Or am I somewhere in between?